Hey everybody, we're back. Game 2, IPL Team Arena Challenge, lower round 2. SlayerS versus ReIGN. Here is the yellow Protoss. For Team ReIGN it is KiWiKaKi, down on the bottom spawn of Metalopolis. And up on the top we have SlayerS Clyde. I'm so happy to have Clyde playing for us. I think this is his debut game for anything IGNProLeague.
Yeah, we've had a few players that have done that. We had Genius play in this tournament. We had MVP play in this tournament so far. Happy play. So there's been some very, very big names that have made their debut here, and it's been fun to watch.
Yeah, Team Arena Challenge is actually incredible. And so SlayerS Clyde, again, light blue Terran up on the top spawn. So we have cross position, PvT. KiWiKaKi, I think, he has a variety of all-ins that he likes to do against Terran as well. So we'll see if he reaches into his bag and finds an all-in for us. Clyde, on the other hand, last game just showed that he can do basically whatever he wants, as long as he doesn't make any mistakes, like he doesn't. Then he can be very, very powerful and threatening. So KiWiKaKi already scouting, checking the close flying positions first, not going to find anything there. Now, of course, he is going to head all the way up to the top and find SlayerS Clyde, who actually is doing a bit of a wall-off, kind of like he would do against a Zerg opponent, building that barracks at the top of his ramp.
Yes, and let's see what he ends up moving into here in a bit, as this would be the time for gas, and he has passed. We'll see if he goes for a 14. Okay, there it is. 14 gas. Some players have been doing that in lieu of the 13 gas, just due to the fact that the barracks build time takes a little bit longer anyway. And it comes up at about the same time you can move into an add-on and start getting upgrades without really delaying the rest of your structures. And nice little catch there from Clyde as he does take out that probe. The probe, which importantly didn't see anything else. So lack of gas or double gas or whatever it could have possibly been.
Or, you know, battle cruisers just
the 3-minute battle cruiser all-in is
That's what I like to do.
Extremely powerful.
I don't know why more people don't just go for 3-minute battle cruisers. Like,
that's true.
It's really hard to stop with like a sentry or a spore crawler.
It really is.
Yeah. So we've got Cybernetics Core coming up for KiWiKaKi. Of course, you kind of need that to do basically anything as Protoss. Back in the day, you could get away with building just 3 or 4 gateways at your enemy's base and winning with zealots. But since they nerfed that, I think Cybernetics Core it's pretty nice to have.
Yes, it is. It's generally required for every other unit you make. But as it looks like KiWiKaKi's can open with some form of a Sentry Expand, unless he moves into, like you said, like this variety of all-ins. Maybe you will see one of the one-base high-tech variety in a bit. But KiWiKaKi, his whole base is exposed at the moment as Clyde continues to run that SCV around. What is Clyde doing back at home?
Making lots of SCVs. He's
and a
going
tech lab.
Zerg Terran. He's the infested Marine. No, he's not, because that's Morrow.
That's true.
He is Clyde. He's building lots of SCVs and getting concussive shells pretty quickly. Of course, that's always good to have.
All right.
Against your stalkers of your Protoss opponent.
A concussive shell expand.
Oh, now he builds. Now he builds the command center inside his base. Thanks, Clyde. Couldn't do that against the Zerg opponent. Had to do it against Protoss. And oh, whoa! Robotics facility already coming up for KiWiKaKi on one base.
Yes, indeed. So, but he's still going ahead and producing a good number of sentries. So it's close to mirroring a Sentry Expand as far as what Clyde would see if he ran up through the front. But now we're on full-blown 2-gate robo with a bunch of sentries. Uh-oh, is this going to be number 3? Otherwise, that probe's just messing around.
Pylon, yeah!
It's a pylon! He's not going to be supply blocked.
It looks like Clyde is headed through his own gold base.
See here,
to head over to KiWiKaKi's side of the map. He's taking the Zellmaga tower. He sees that probe trying to escape, but he's not going to try and chase him down. No real reason to do that.
Nah,
Reaper being built now for Clyde. Is he going to do the age-old Cawthon luck? Pop up with the Reaper and hit stuff from the low ground?
I think that's exactly what he's planning to do. Force units off the high ground here while he runs units up the front with the aid of the Reaper behind.
Billion years old.
A billion?
Yeah, Cawthon luck was like in the ancient times, man. Like the Book of Cain, Diablo 3 times.
That was a billion years ago. Well played.
I think it was. Oh, geez, he gets in with the SCV.
Go, SCV, go!
Did he see the robotics?
Oh,
I don't think he
let's
did.
Take a look at his vision. No, he did see the 2 gates.
So close, poor SCV.
Wow, 3-gate robo now, but there's an expansion coming out. It's like a concussive shell really not going to be used for much else. This Reaper coming in, maybe, sometime, please?
He's not going for the billion-year-old Cawthon luck build. He's just going to scout.
But he does see 3-gate robo now. Let's see if he gets down and sees the expansion. That's what he's queued up to do.
Oh, actually, Sentry's managed to snipe him before he hops down into the natural, so he does not have vision of that Nexus just yet. Kind of good for KiWiKaKi. He might Clyde might think that this is, 100% all in coming in, and
Sure.
he doesn't know that there's a Nexus there, so that
Right.
can work toward Kiwi's benefit. It looks like another Immortal. Did he already get an Immortal out? I haven't been watching that production tab.
No, I don't think he has one. I think that's his first one.
Okie dokie. First Immortal coming out for Kiwi, a factory being built now for Clyde. He's already creating double-digit bio units. Oh no, never mind. That was the units tab.
No, oh yeah, my apologies.
Curse you, tabs.
Yeah, that would actually be a staggering production at 7.5 minutes into the game.
4 reactor racks and 2 tech lab racks already, that would be pretty nuts.
Expansion for KiWiKaKi just about to finish up, though. He is ahead in workers, but of course just slightly back in economy now because of the mules that are on the ground for Clyde. With Chrono Boost, you can usually stay ahead of a pretty quick expanding Terran player as long as you put down that expansion in a pretty decent period of time. But of course, Kiwi waited for quite a bit of stuff to come out first. Not least importantly, this Observer, which does have a pretty good grasp on what's being constructed.
Yeah, there is a starport for Clyde in the back of the natural. No, there it is, right in the main. It's going to flip onto that reactor, most likely. We'll see. I'm sure Metavacs are going to be the unit of choice.
Yes, indeed, and we have KiWiKaKi producing gateways number 4,
man.
5, and 6.
6 gate Robo, 2 base.
Using the Robo, importantly, for Immortals, though. No forges for upgrades.
No bay.
And, yeah, exactly. That's going the Immortal route for now, and just heavy Sentry energy.
Interesting. Well, Immortals do slam through those bunkers pretty quickly. I don't
Yes,
see
they
any
do.
tanks there at all, so looks like Clyde is just going to sort of circumvent that. Yeah, he's not even using the factory. He doesn't need to.
Just love it. Hanging
Lots
out
and
with the
lots of
Observer.
Marines. Lots and lots of Marines do fine against those Immortals with their stim packs.
Yeah, certainly. It's largely going to rely on control here, though, because with perfect force field splits, KiWiKaKi is still going to have plenty enough to deal with an initial push. But if Clyde gets a decent engagement, even just a somewhat decent engagement, he's in a good spot.
3 units there, trading energy for Marines. It looks like there's a pylon. Is there a pylon just up in that?
Oh, this one right here?
Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
yeah.
on the low ground. Okay.
Yes, it is.
That's interesting that Clyde did not see that. Hopeful again for Kiwi.
Here comes Kiwi. He's basically even on army supplies because he's only up by 2 workers. So here it comes now. That's a lot of bunker busting power once that 3rd Immortal joins.
That's true. So many force fields can just litter the field here, splitting Marines, Marauders, covering all those bunkers so they cannot be repaired, and the Immortals will just go to town. There's only 3 Immortals in the mix, so if he is able to protect them, he can definitely break through this front wall, and then it's just a matter of picking off Marines and Marauders with force fields. So there he goes. First round of force fields goes down. All the bio units coming in from the left side. They're a little bit scared, as you see. They get cut off from their escape path, and the Zealots coming in and whacking them in the face. One bunker has already gone down. The second one being focused by those Sentries and Immortals. There it goes. The Zealots have all been cleaned up, so it is pure Sentry Immortal now. 5 more Zealots, 6 more Zealots, warping in from that nearby pylon. They're going to run forward and not be able to catch those Marauders, but the damage has been done. Kiwi
certainly.
up by about 15 supply right there at the end of that fight.
Yeah, he did kill 12 workers, so now he has a pretty decent economic spot to be in, and he's just producing units behind this. I mean, he's cut probes. He is just determined that 41 workers is the optimal amount to continue this unit production, as he is rallying in some more Immortals as well. More workers pulled off the line now for Clyde. He's got a few Metavacs that are floating overhead, but these Immortals behind the Guardian Shield are just tearing through the Marauders.
Interesting that the supply depot actually kept focused down while all those SCVs were hanging out. That's kind of weird, but
yeah.
Wow, look at all the SCVs getting pulled off the line now. This looks really bad for Clyde,
Oh
but
my god.
that Immortal still standing. That's actually incredible. There's only 2 left on the field, and all the Sentries have gone down now. There's only a probe, not going to be useful there, and now the Immortals will be concussive shelled to death. We have a warp in with 3 Zealots and 3 Stalkers. Wow, 1 Immortal does manage to stay alive with 14 kills to his name.
Yes, it does. And 16 workers to 40 at the moment. KiWiKaKi is actually a huge advantage in economy if you take a look at that. We'll see if... Okay, Clyde, yeah, just going right back to producing workers, though. Wants to go ahead and catch up and try and macro out of this, not just committing to an all-in and pushing right now. And KiWiKaKi trying to warp in some more units. Has to fall back to the subsequent... fall back to each forward pylon as he does a warp in.
Yeah, it's segmented very nicely there. But so this is essentially all Clyde has, right? So he's got a bunch of bio
Basically,
units.
yeah.
He's rebuilding his economy. I don't think he'll be able to... Yeah, he's not going to be able to get any ground right there. He is loading up in these Metavacs, and that actually gives me an idea. KiWiKaKi has that robotics bay, or facility, back at home. Warp Prism would be so hard for Clyde to deal with right now.
Yeah, definitely.
If he made one Warp Prism, just warped in that very scant SCV line and kept attacking the front, Clyde wouldn't be able to allocate these resources like he's doing. He's sending a medevac off to the right side of the map, and soon he'll be at KiWiKaKi's natural, while Kiwi is pressing into Clyde's natural.
Which, given how many units that Clyde knows Kiwi has on the field, is a little surprising that even now he decided to allocate this much. But here it comes. I guess he's counting on the backstab to do a lot of damage. Okay, they just rallied right through the pylon there. That was actually hysterical. And a lot of workers are going to fall. Clyde doing a considerable amount of damage right now. KiWiKaKi still not pulling in quite yet. What is he doing? He's not pushing. He's not pulling back.
Go! Well, obviously he's focusing back at home. He did some micro there to keep those probes alive, but now he doesn't have any anti-air. He's going to have to keep an eye on these probes. He is A-moving, perhaps, into the front of Clyde's base now. Oh, wow, where did all these Marines come from? Jeez, Clyde.
Yeah, Clyde's been producing quite a bit here. There's the Force Shields actually trapping a lot of those Marines in a pocket, but those Zealots, importantly, were outside of the range of Guardian Shield, and now we do have 1-1 finished for those Marines, so they're actually just infinitely more powerful against the units that are coming out from KiWiKaKi. And look at this! He's actually going to get driven back. He's still up 17 workers to 39, but Clyde healing up these units, and there's really nothing that Kiwi can do about it.
Yeah, so Kiwi did have a major supply advantage there, but now he doesn't. He's got actually a lot of supply tied up in these Zealots just to prevent losing that Artosis pylon. Unpowering 3 gateways, of course, he's going to rebuild that quickly, but again, no anti-air to kill that medevac off and get rid of it for good. And now his forces have just been totally destroyed, dismantled.
Clyde's back by 22 workers, which means that he has a ginormous supply advantage in army, so he could actually just run through and crush KiWiKaKi at the moment if he wanted to, now pulling the overall supply advantage. So Clyde was back in such a bad spot. I didn't think there was a prayer of him getting back into this. I thought he may even just tap out after having lost about 25 workers. But not only has he pulled back into this, but he also has a supply advantage now, a considerable one at that.
I noticed KiWiKaKi's gas income is heavily taxed right now. He's not building any more sentries right now, just going for those Zealots, Stalkers, and Immortals. This contingent of Marines and Marauders still running wild in KiWiKaKi's base. I don't know why he left. He just completely left that area with all of his units. Now the Zealot pylon is going to go down as well. There's only 4 gates right now that Kiwi can build from, and the force from Clyde is pressing down into the natural now. Guardian Shield, of course, is great to see, but these Zealots don't have charge. There are plenty of concussive shells in that mixture, as well as stim, to keep these kiting forever. Zealots are going to be totally, well, not totally worthless, but more or less worthless. Now the sentry's naked, and there are very, very few units here for KiWiKaKi to be able to stand up against this. There's the
KiWiKaKi GG's. What a comeback from Clyde there.
Absolutely ridiculous.
수상장